Hey everyone, Duke Nougat 3D here with another item from my collection, and today I have one that is long overdue for review, and that is my rather incomplete but very much appreciated Zodiak ABC-Schutzanzug, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, or more formerly known as the Zodiak chemical suit. I don't know much about these other than they are the standard current issue heavy decontamination suit for the Bundeswehr and German military. I do not know when exactly they were introduced. I assume sometime in the 60s or 70s, more likely the 60s, and they've pretty much remained unchanged. There really aren't too many variants. I do know that Austria has a couple other variants of this suit, but today we're just going to be taking a look at the basic German one. However, I should note that I've made a modification to this particular example, which I will get to later. So these suits were, again, basically the equivalent of the U.S. Toxicological Agents Protective Gear. However, these seem to be a little bit better designed in certain aspects. For the main thing, it seems a whole lot more leak-proof, as the design is very much more encapsulating and has better seals as compared to the older M3 coveralls that the U.S. uses. And it was primarily designed to be used with the M62 and M65 masks and used with the German military. However, with said modification that I have done and I will show off on camera here in a second, you can use it with other facepiece designs as well. As I mentioned before, my particular example here is relatively incomplete, as I only have the jacket and the pants. There would have been a proprietary set of boots, gloves, boot liners, which were basically some sweat-absorbing sock type of things, and there was also boot tensioners, which were little metal hoops that went inside the boots so that they could be worn with the seals on the pants. I need to make something that will do that job so that I can wear boots with this particular chemical suit. And personally, it's one of my favorite designs, not only because it's very well encapsulating and there's very little chance of it leaking, but it's very bare bones basic. It's really a no-nonsense design. Of course, this being an impermeable suit, you're going to boil up in this thing. It's not like a Russian L1 suit where it is a relatively thinner material, and so the atmosphere can kind of transpire onto the actual user itself. And I'm not saying it's like ventilated, but there's a noticeable difference between wearing a Russian L1 and a German Zodiac. This thing does not mess around. This is some very heavy-duty material. I believe the majority of the suit is comprised of vinyl-coated nylon with some, I don't know if it's natural rubber, it's more than likely artificial rubber, but rubberized parts, particularly the seals and everything. But anyways, I'll get on camera here to show you the details and give you the rundown on it. So, right off the bat, let's start with the jacket here. You may notice this opening in the front of the hood here. This originally had 3 holes in it to fit the triangular lenses and the inlet outlet valve assembly of the M62 and M65 masks, as I've said before. But what I've gone and done is I've trimmed those free, and I've used a rotary tool with a sanding bit to smooth out the rubber and make it all even and nice. And so this fits a variety of different masks now, and it doesn't really affect the seal at all. It's just a little added feature to allow other masks to be used. And these suits are common, so I'm not really damaged. I mean, technically I guess it is damaging, but it's not a big loss, as these are very common. You may notice the GR1 stamp on the chest of both the top and the bottoms, and that is in reference to the size Gross 1, which is size 1 in German. I do not know what the Zodiac sizes are, but I think size 1 is one of the largest ones. I could be very wrong, so don't quote me on that. Inside, you can see here there's a double layer of the opening of the jacket is double layered, and that is so that the jacket and the pants can be rolled together similar to a vintage dry suit. But inside the jacket here, on the inner seal, you can see all the German markings, or hopefully you can, on the inside there. I believe mine was made in 1989, as per this production stamp right there. And really not too much to mention there. It mentions what it is, and we got a bunch of serial codes and whatnot. There are 3 straps on this suit itself, on the jacket at least. There is one that creates tension for the hood that goes across the back of the neck. Could go across the front, but I'd prefer around the back. And then you have 2 coming across the back here, which come around the waist and are meant to create a seal at the waist so that the waist seal doesn't unroll. And then the other seals are these hard cuffs where the gloves will roll onto. And I've noticed that if you're doing this one person, if you're just putting this on by yourself, it's easier to pre-roll the gloves. And I will be demonstrating this suit in the video, so just bear with me here. So yeah, these are very nice. I like this feature, these hard rubber cuffs for installing gloves. So moving on from that, we have the pants here, which aren't too complicated. You have some more of those straps, which act as sort of suspenders, and you have like this plastic cross brace here. This I don't find the most comfortable. This is probably my least favorite feature out of the suit, just simply because of how uncomfortable it is. However, with a decent amount of clothing underneath, I feel it wouldn't be that bad. You got another GR1 stamp for size 1, and here is the waist seal, which I believe somewhere under here there will be the size. Maybe not. Actually, I believe the size is yes, it is. The size is stamped inside the bottoms, and you just have corresponding markings and whatnot. So this particular set of pants is made in '89, so that's interesting. Different dates of production on these. And then this is another feature which is good, but I'm not particularly fond of it due to the requirement of a part which I do not have. And these are the boot seals. These are meant to go over the I guess the cuffs of the boot, and the boots are meant to have some sort of metal band, metal hoop that's sort of ovular or elliptical shaped, and is meant to tension the boots from the inside. So this, if you're wearing a pair of boots with this without that tensioning hoop, then the seals are going to crush the boots and cause a seal around the ankle. I mean, cause a leak around the ankle. So that's a bit unfortunate with that design. And they could have gone with a hard cuff that goes inside the boot, but whatever. You know, it is what it is. So without further ado, I will demonstrate wearing the suit. I will adjust the camera here so you can get a better view. I'll try to put it on as quick as possible because I don't want to waste too much time with the video here. I don't know how much time I've already wasted. And plus, I don't like wearing this thing for too long because, obviously, being an impermeable suit, it is boiling. So, start with the pants here. Just get those on over the legs here. And the boots would have been put on directly after this. So, I don't have boots for this video, so let's just imagine that, I guess. Then do the suspenders. It's pretty self-explanatory. It looks like a complicated design, but it's really not. It's very self-explanatory once you actually get your hands on it and start working with it. And so yeah, I don't really need to do too much talking here. I'll try to explain what I need to, but other than that, like I said, pretty self-explanatory design. Doesn't need a good amount of dialogue to figure out. So next, let's get to the jacket. And this is the part. This is a part of the suit which I do not like. You have to be wearing the mask prior to putting on the jacket of the suit, so I will go ahead and do that now. The mask I've chosen is a MSA Ultra View, silicone one with the orange lens frame. So I'll go ahead and do that.
And just for ease of installment, I'll remove the filter for the time being. Find the front of the suit. The chin seal can be a bit difficult depending on what mask you're wearing. Now that that's on, I'll do the neck seal here. now the waistband, or the waist seal rather. You want to roll the outer layer up first because this goes over the rolled component. And it's not a very easy thing to do by yourself, by the way. I would assume this would be typically done by a team or a buddy of some sort. Just sort of get that roll started as best you can. It's a very weird material to work with in that regard, so it's not going to be the cleanest thing, but it'll be gas tight at the very least. We're not looking for perfection. You definitely want to focus in the back because that's where it's going to be the most slack and want to come unraveled the most. Once you've got that as high up as you feel you can go ahead and roll the outer layer down. Being extra careful with the back here and make sure that you're tucking it in properly. You're not unrolling it as you're pulling it down. And then take the two waist straps and just make sure that the waist seal is underneath or above them rather. And these rubberized straps can be a bit difficult to do sometimes, so be patient with it. And now, put the filter back on, and then do the gloves. So, as I said, I have the gloves pre-rolled, and that's the best way to do it if you're doing it without a buddy. And I recommend putting in glove liners, unlike what I'm doing, because these, like I said, this gets very sweaty. So just put it on one end, stretch the roll over, just kind of roll it down like this. It's a bit more difficult once you do the other glove with this one on, but whatever. Just sort of get it in there. I should have started with this hand because my right hand is more swollen than my left, so getting the glove on is a bit more difficult. But anyways, that's there. And now we'll begin to roll the seam over. It's not perfect, but it's a seal, and there you have it. So, excluding the fact that I don't have any boots, this is basically the basic ensemble. So, I'll go ahead and do a quick turnaround and then wrap up the video for you guys. So as I said, this is overall one of my favorite chemical suits, despite its problems, I guess you could call them. But, you know, it is what it is. It's a nice design for the most part. There are definitely improvements to be made, as I've already done, as I've mentioned. So that's basically it. If you have any comments, questions, corrections, or concerns, drop them in the comments below. And I'm Duke Nigga 3D, and I'll see you all later.